So we're still staying on economic issues now, and joining us to take the conversation further is the outgoing Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Mr. Laye Jayola, joins us virtually now. He's in the same Abuja with Ngelale. I guess they will meet at some point and shake hands and all of that. Mr. Jayola, thank you for your time. And well, I guess we can only take it up where Mr. Ngelale has stopped, talking about the ministers and talking about the CNG initiative. Okay, so you saw the ministers yesterday. We've heard the SA now tell us a balance to with some of those concerns. Do you have any concerns, or what are your expectations as the ministers settle in?
Well, again, unlike most policy analysts, I have a different slant to these discussions. We practice a presidential system of government, and the buck stops on the president's desk. The ministers will be as effective as the president allowed them to be. But more importantly, our challenge in Nigeria is implementation of policies. And therefore, even as we look at ministers, we must be able to look at the capacity of the civil service to implement whatever it is that we have to do. So we can have the best of ministers, very qualified. If the bureaucracy of government does not allow them, and there is no coordination among ministries, we're going to have challenges. So my view is, Mr. President, Nigerians voted for you, and we're going to demand accountability from you. We know you're going to use our ministers to execute. We applaud them, but the civil service should ensure that these ministers work. But my advice for the ministers will be, please don't guard tops. Minister means servants. Please be truly servants. Be accessible. Talk amongst yourselves. Unless you meet the yearnings of Nigerians, you then will not have performed. And given the critical time that we are in as a country, it is important that all ministers should hit the ground running and start delivering. I congratulate them. There are expectations from Nigerians of them, and I hope that they will deliver.
Yeah, so one thing that Mr. Gilali, as I told him, talked about is giving timelines. You know, you talked about the issue of implementation, which everybody knows is a common challenge in the country. We have beautiful policies on paper. We talk about them. We can explain them. But when it comes to implementing it, so, I mean, looking at the timelines, the issue of, he also said that the presidents will be watching to look at targets, and ministers who don't meet up with that, you know, will have to face some kind of music. Do you think that is saying that is a good enough motivation, you know, to push the ministers to work?
Timelines are good, but what actions do you take when somebody defaults on meeting timelines? It's very important. I was listening to the president's inauguration of a task force team, and they were told what they needed to submit in 30 days, what they will do in 6 months, and all like that and that. So it's important that, look, this timelines are good, but what do? I'll give you a very simple example. Our gateway is our airport, Moshala Airport. I still don't understand when somebody else looks at your passport, another person stamps your passport. These are things that I believe, maybe they said it's an ICT matter. Why can't we then have a collaboration between the Aviation Ministry and solve this problem and make us look good? For me, deploying technology to most of the work we do, and I mean, e-governance platform has been there for ages. So we don't need to set up another committee, pick it up, and begin to let's implement. So these are the small things that some of us will want done almost immediately. And honestly, there are a number of things that if we hit our ground running and work on, it will give us results. So timelines are good, but what is important is what are the infractions of non-performance?
And then yesterday, JP Morgan gave us another something to worry about, especially for the president, the ministers. You know, they did say that predict a weaker economy for Nigeria, especially our foreign reserve, which we know is already a challenge. You know, this is another big one for not just the ministers connected to the economy, but I mean, almost all of them will have something to contribute to this, especially the president anyways.
Well, our external reserve, no doubt, is worrisome. We all know that. We didn't all know in full until we saw the publication, right? What's important, I think we need to do is, first and foremost, let's bring transparency to this matter. Let there be firm disclosure. Let not be exciting blessings. A lot of work is being done in ensuring that we begin to produce as much as we should produce in terms of our oil export. If we work on our oil exports, and we begin to have more accretion to reserve, I mean, that will be good. But more importantly, if we are able to have clear signal regarding policy choices that the government wants to do, then we'll be able to still bring in investors to this country. Once we deal with security, the fundamentals of the Nigerian economy is very strong. Investors will come if there is clarity. I think we need to begin to put clarity to our, we know the fiscal side, we're seeing who is there, what's going to happen on our monetary side. Once we have clarity around what we want to do, we'll then be able to bring in some money. I must let you know that we cannot produce our way out. We need both production locally and we need investors to come from without. And if that happens, you know, my worry about I worry a bit about these ratings, but I know they change from time to time. If you do the right thing, they will change it. So let's do the right thing so that they can change it.
What would the right thing be, especially when you mention transparency?
I just told you the right thing now. Clarity of policy. Let's know who and who is there. Let's not flip-flop. Let's be very clear. Secondly, let us even use technology to cover all the tracks. There are so many losses, many revenues that are not accruing to our reserve. I mean, what does it take to police our oil rigs? Technology exists today, you can police effectively. So the fact that somebody is stealing oil as if they are carrying it, and it's just transparency issue. So let's get security to do a lot of security and allow the security people to work, rather than have too much conflicting interests there and there. But more importantly, let us work in a coordinated fashion. An idea of I am going this way, you are going to, it's about Nigeria. Let's all work together. And this one area I'm going to challenge even our state governments. And the last time I spoke to the press, I did tell them that I don't believe palliative should be only from the center. The state governments should be doing palliative. And I'm glad they are releasing palliative. And if you look at it, it varies from one state to another. Nigerians just need to be appeased, and we want to implore our state governors to join her and make sure that whatever is due to the citizen, they give it to them. But transparency, openness, clarity of policy, security are things we can do very shortly.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Laoye Jayola, the outgoing Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. We appreciate your thoughts and perspective this morning.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Well, it's our country. Nigeria is ours, so we have to keep talking about the issues and not just talking, but also implementing. Let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll head to the commodity space. To stay with us.